Once upon a time, in a faraway land, lived a good king and queen. For many years, their greatest wish remained unfulfilled. They longed for a child. Their hearts ached with each passing season, hoping for the pitter-patter of tiny feet in their grand castle halls. Finally, after much patience and prayer, their wish was granted. The queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, a princess with eyes as blue as the summer sky. The entire kingdom rejoiced, celebrating the arrival of their beloved new heir. To mark this joyous occasion, the king and queen decided to hold a magnificent christening. They invited all the wise and powerful fairies from across the land to bestow their blessings upon the infant princess. Each fairy arrived, bringing a unique and wonderful gift. One fairy granted her beauty, another a kind heart, and yet another a melodious voice. Each gift was more precious than the last, promising a life filled with grace and virtue. The air was filled with laughter and the sweet scent of celebration. However, one old fairy, who had been forgotten and not invited, arrived in a fury. Her eyes glowed with resentment as she stood before the royal family. She felt deeply insulted by the oversight, her ancient heart burning with a bitter rage. With a chilling voice, she pronounced a terrible curse upon the innocent princess. When she reaches her 16th year, the old fairy declared, she shall prick her finger on a spindle and fall into a sleep of 100 years, from which only true love's kiss can awaken her. The entire court gasped in horror, their joy turning to despair. But one young fairy, who had not yet given her gift, stepped forward. Though she could not entirely undo the powerful curse, she could soften its cruel blow. The princess shall indeed fall into a deep sleep, she announced, her voice gentle yet firm. But it will not be a sleep unto death. Instead, she will awaken after 100 years, when a noble prince's kiss breaks the enchantment. The king, desperate to protect his daughter, immediately issued a decree. Every spinning wheel and spindle in the kingdom was to be destroyed, burned, and banished from sight. He hoped to erase any chance of the curse coming true. The princess grew into a lovely young woman, graceful and kind, just as the good fairies had foretold. She was beloved by all, and the shadow of the curse seemed to fade with each passing year. Yet fate has a way of finding its path. On her 16th birthday, the princess wandered through a forgotten part of the castle. High in a secluded tower, she discovered a hidden room she had never seen before. Inside, an old woman sat, busily spinning thread on an ancient spinning wheel. Curious, the princess approached the strange device, fascinated by its whirring motion. She reached out to touch the sharp point of the spindle, her curiosity overcoming any caution. In that very instant, the curse took hold. As her finger pricked the needle, a sudden, overwhelming drowsiness swept over her. The princess swayed and then gently fell onto a nearby bed, instantly falling into a profound, enchanted sleep. The old woman vanished as if she had never been there. At that very moment, a magical slumber spread throughout the entire castle. The king and queen, their courtiers, the guards, and even the kitchen staff all fell asleep exactly where they stood. Time itself seemed to pause within the castle walls. Over the next 100 years, a dense, thorny forest grew up around the castle. Its impenetrable branches twisted and intertwined, completely hiding the sleeping kingdom from the outside world. Only the tallest towers could be glimpsed above the green canopy. Tales of the sleeping princess and the enchanted castle became mere legends, whispered by travelers and old storytellers. Many brave knights and princes tried to penetrate the thorny wall, but none ever succeeded. They were either ensnared or turned back. One day, a young and courageous prince heard the ancient tale. Intrigued by the mystery and the promise of adventure, he resolved to find the legendary castle and awaken its sleeping princess. He was determined to succeed where others had failed. As he approached the formidable thicket, a miracle occurred. The thorny branches, which had resisted all others, parted before him, creating a clear path. It was as if the forest itself recognized his noble heart and true purpose. The prince walked through the silent, overgrown castle, finding everyone asleep in their places. He finally reached the tower room and saw the beautiful princess lying on the bed, looking as if she had only just closed her eyes. Her beauty was breathtaking. Overcome with a feeling he had never known, the prince gently knelt beside her. He leaned down and softly kissed her lips. In that very instant, the powerful enchantment was broken, and the princess's eyes slowly fluttered open. The princess looked at the prince, a gentle smile gracing her lips. At the same moment, the entire castle stirred back to life. The king and queen awoke, the courtiers stretched, and the kitchen staff resumed their tasks as if no time had passed. The kingdom rejoiced, their long sleep finally over. The prince and princess fell deeply in love, their hearts united by destiny. Their meeting was a testament to the enduring power of hope and true affection. Soon after, a grand wedding was held, celebrating the union of the prince and the awakened princess. The entire kingdom celebrated for days, filled with music, dancing, and joyous feasting. It was a new beginning for everyone. The prince and princess lived happily ever after, ruling their kingdom with wisdom and kindness. Their story became a timeless legend, reminding all that even the deepest slumber can be broken by the purest love.